Oh, hey guys. So now we're going to work on setting up our science journal. Everyone should have in front of you a journal, okay, a blank journal, glue, pencil or pen, and papers that I've already handed out, okay? And we're going to get started. All right, so first of all, let me tell you what a science journal is. It is a tool. It is a resource. It is a tool, okay? There's going to be days that I'm going to give you a pop quiz or some kind of assignment, and you're allowed to use your journal, okay? Occasionally, I might give you a test and say it's open notes, open book kind of thing. If so, you're going to wish that you would have kept up with this bad boy. Because if not, well, that just sucks for you. You're going to be in a world of hurt. So, remember, journals are our friends. They're our resource that we create as a class. And I promise you, if I have you put it in your journal, it's going to help you down the road. I promise. Cross my heart. Okay? So first of all, on the front, I want you to write your name in a marker. And then just put your class period up here on the top. So for instance, I don't know if this will work or not. I'm going to put Miss Baxter. And for this case, I'll put second because I know it's second period. Okay? All right, once you've done that, then I want you to put your finger on your nose. Wonderful. All right. Now that everybody's done that, I'm going to have you open the book. And the first thing you're going to glue in is a little I don't know card that I gave you. With that I don't know, you're going to glue it in the very front corner right here. First corner, okay, right here in the top corner, top left corner, because as we go throughout the year, I might want to have you put other things in here, okay? So I'll be walking around the room and to help out if anyone needs help with that. Moving on. We're going to glue in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the next 5 pages are going to be glued in. Don't worry about writing this stuff just yet, okay? But we're going to glue in our table of contents pages on the next 5 pages, and we're going to number them. Now, not with number 1, this is an I. So before we get into the actual pages of our journal, whenever you open like textbooks or some kind of book, sometimes you see Roman numerals, okay? We're just going to do that for the table of contents. So all I want you to do right now is glue in this 1 page of the table of contents, and then in the top right corner, put a little I. Okay, once you've done that, turn the page, and you see I've only took 1 page. 1 page, guys, not 10, not 30, not in the middle of our journal, wherever we want, 1 page. You are being graded on how you set up your journals. I will tell you that right now. I will be checking. All right, so on the page right behind, you're going to put Roman numeral 2, okay? So it's 2 I's, and then glue in the second page. Same thing for the third. This time it's 3 little I's. You see that? Again, turn the page. Just 1. 4. This will be the 4th one. Okay. This is an I and a V. And then last one, you glue it in, and you're going to put the letter V. All right. And I'm going to stop the video now. That way I'll walk around and make sure everyone's up to speed. And we're in the same place where we all need to be. Okay. All right, so now at this point, everyone should have all 5 pages glued in, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. And now we're going to turn to the first page right behind that last table of contents page. And this page, we're going to write a number 1 up there. Don't pay attention to my mistake. And you're going to glue in the My Science reflection sheet, okay? Once you glue this in, I want you to actually we're going to take a minute to answer these questions. Why do I want to be successful in science this year? Now, remember last week we talked about why would a person want to be successful? Remember we did the QSSSA strategy? I asked a question. I gave you time to think. I gave you time to share. We And then you came up with your own answer. I gave you the sentence stem, right? Well, this time, same thing. Okay, why do I want to be successful in science this year? That's your question. While you're sitting there for the next 5 minutes, I want you to think about your answer. And it's personal. This is very personal. This is not something you're going to share out to the class. So don't be shy with it. Don't be honest, because it's just between you and me. It's in your journal. No one else should be looking at it, and it's just you and me. Okay. So here's your sentence stem. I want to be successful in science this year because, and you don't have to rewrite that. Okay. Just put your answer here. Why? What do you know? This year we have a STAR test, so we have a goal to set, right? And how about it's 8th grade? It's your last year before high school, because next year y'all take biology, chemistry, physics, things like that. It's only going to get much harder. And if you don't pass those EOCs, you know you won't graduate. I mean, if you're going to have to, this is the year you have to start getting focused in school if you haven't been up to this point. All right, the second question. What is one thing about me that has kept me from being successful in school? All right. Again, this is very personal. If you're a kid that has never passed a STAR test, passed a science test, liked science, anything, okay, struggles with reading, this is where I need to know, okay? Here's your stem. I want Miss Baxter to know that in the past, I have not been successful in school because, and I'll tell you, for me, it's easy because I didn't retain anything I ever read. I wasn't a good learner by just reading. And in my day when we were in school, that's what we did. We only read or took notes. I was a great note taker. I could follow along the teacher really, really well and take notes. But if I sat down and tried to read them before a test, I wasn't remembering anything I read. So as your teacher, I promise you, we will try to do as much visual and hands-on as we can. I promise you. And if I've not done something, made something visual or made something hands-on, let me know. Take charge of your learning, guys. That means hold teachers accountable for teaching you. You know, we always say we want students to be the best and bring their best and do their best, but we teachers don't always do that ourselves. And that's not fair. So you need to take responsibility for your learning, okay? And hold teachers accountable. Hold me accountable. If I'm not meeting your needs, you need to come talk to me. And it's totally not going to hurt my feelings. In fact, if I found out, like say from a parent conference, that I wasn't meeting your needs and you never told me, I would be so devastated and heartbroken, okay? So please, please, please be honest with me. If you're shy and don't want to talk to me, write me a note, leave me a note, drop by, just say here, it's for you, and then run away. Okay? It's all good. I promise you. I've been there. I was scared to talk to teachers when I was a kid. I was afraid to tell them because a lot of times my teachers would just yell at me and just say, oh, you're just not trying hard enough. Go sit down. Okay? Well, I'm not like that. So anyway, and last, add anything here that you would like Ms. Baxter to know about you and your educational needs, past experiences, or anything else you want me to know about you. All right? So this is what I want you to work on for the next few minutes. And then if we're, depending on time, which we should have because I'm setting a time limit, we're going to do a lab safety video in our first set of notes. All right. So we're going to go ahead and glue this in. Don't worry about filling out. We're going to watch a video here shortly, but I want you to glue one more thing in before we do that. So, oh, and don't forget to put number 2 in lab safety. And last but not least, our science notebook rubric. This is the last page I want you to glue in. So turn that page from lab safety. We're going to go right behind it. Put number 3. You're going to fold the rubric in half, okay, and just glue it in. And this is what we're going to go over real quick. This is what I'm going to use when I do journal checks, and I will do journal checks at least once every 6 weeks. And it will be spontaneous, and you'll never know about it until you do. All right, so here's what I'm looking for. Neatness and organization. If your journal's looking like mine and looking pretty awesome, I'm going to give you a 4. See, it says, wow, handwriting is neat, notebooks organized, in an easy to understand format. Basically, follow my format, okay? You're going to get a 3 good if it's just good. Handwriting is usually neat, notebooks organized in an easy to understand format. Okay, again, that means you kind of did it like mine. If you almost got it right, and handwriting is not very neat, notebook organization is not easy to understand, that means you're just kind of doing whatever you want to do kind of thing. You're probably going to get a 2 on that, okay? And then last one is poor. Handwriting is sloppy and hard to read. Notebook organization is difficult to follow. Like if you just did, I don't know what you did, all right, then you're going to get a 1. And if, of course, if you don't do anything at all, you're going to 0. So there will be a 0 through 4 there. Look here, content and accuracy. Again, written responses demonstrate an understanding of science concepts and proper vocabulary usage. So if you're writing stuff in here, it's probably stuff I've already told you what to write. All right. If you have to answer some questions and something, I'll probably grade that independently more so for the content, but I'm just looking that you actually did the work. When I'm doing a journal check, I'm just looking at you can still put things in your journal appropriately so that it can be a tool for you. However, if there's an assignment that we did and I graded it and told you to put that in your journal, then that will have a separate grade. So content accuracy is just going to be more about, did you fill everything out that I told you to, or that kind of thing. Again, from 4 all the way to 0, you can read along. I'm not going to read them all for you. Required elements, again, this is like table of contents is up to date. Are you keeping up with it? Pages are numbered. No pages have been skipped, and titles are included. Again, super important. If you see me have a title like here, okay, and you see my page number, and if the item is glued in, and if everything's filled out, and then go back to your table of contents, and if it's filled out, you should be good. You should be good to go. You should get a 4 all the way to a 0. Again, not going to read them all for you. You can do that. And then illustrations and diagrams. Our illustrations and diagrams are clear, accurate, and labeled. We will have a couple of illustrations and diagrams throughout the year. Let me just flip and show you. I've got one that we're going to do tomorrow or the next day. Here's one. I already filled it out. But it's a diagram, right? And it's filled out. As long as yours is filled out like that, you should be good. Here's another example. Okay, this is our vocab, what we're going to do. Another example of illustrations and diagrams. Okay, again, as long as your pages always look like mine, you have nothing to worry about. And then again, 3, 2, 1, 0 if you don't. So you can get a possible of 16 points, 4, 8, 12, 16, right? And if you get a 16 out of a 16, that's a 100%. If you get like a 12 out of 16, then you do the math and you figure out what that is, okay? All right, so that's the last thing I want y'all to put in. If you've done this and you're still working on this, my science reflection, that's fine. Go ahead and work on that. If you're done, bring me your journals and I want to check them off, and that'll be your first journal grade, is to make sure it's set up like Miss Baxter's.